Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. I have been solving math problems for GRE out of this book here, practicing to take the GRE, the 10th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. The problem that I'm about to solve is the one that you're going to find on page number 279, the very last problem, number 10. Number 10. Let's see what it has to say. About half the people who took the exam got this question wrong. Only 48% of people got it right. And here's the question. Or rather, here's the picture. The reason why over half the people who got this question wrong, as I said, only 48% of the people got it right, 52% therefore missed it. And the reason why the majority of people got this question wrong is because they do not remember one very basic tenet, the concept about GRE, which is that it is not the same animal as the one that you encountered in your high school years. When you took the SAT was a different animal. This is a different animal. In the SAT, all the pictures that were given to you, they were all drawn to scale. In the GRE, the pictures are not drawn to scale. What that means is that unless I tell you that this is 90 degrees, unless I tell you that this is 90 degrees, you cannot assume that it's 90 degrees just because it looks like it. And the converse also applies. For example, if I give you something like this, angle P and angle Q, and then I tell you that P is 90, then even though the picture does not look like it, since I'm telling you at the bottom here that P is 90, that means even though the picture is not drawn like that, you have to understand that the real picture, if I were to draw it, it will look like this. P is 90 and therefore Q is 90. Let me give you another example. Simpler one. A, B, C. A, B, C. Very simple question. Which is the longest side in this triangle? If you were taking the GRE and this pops up on the screen, the question is which is the longest side in this triangle? The answer to that is, how the hell do I know? If you're sitting there and saying, why is he asking me which side is the longest side in this triangle? Of course, it's AC. No, it is not, of course, AC, because where did I tell you in this problem so far that AC is the biggest side? I have told you that nowhere. So if they give you this picture like this, and then they tell you that angle A equals 110, and they tell you that the angle B equals 40, that's 150 so far, and they tell you that the angle C equals 40, that's 50 so far. So we need 30 then. Let's exaggerate it. Let's make this 10 degrees. So 10 plus 10 is 20, this is 60 degrees. If that were the case, they give you a picture like this, and then the bottom they give you something like this, then you have to go by that. You cannot go by what the picture looks like. It's not what they show you. In other words, here's another way of looking at it. It's not in the GRE, it's not what they show you, but rather what they tell you about the picture. They may show whatever they want, but you have to pay attention to what the problem says about the picture. For example, in this one, angle A is 110. Right here, this is 110. That tells me that side BC, the side facing the largest angle, this side is the longest side. BC is the longest side. This is 60 degree, angle B, this is 60. That tells me the side AB is the next longer side. So this is bigger than, and then AC, because this AC faces 60 degrees, and this is only 10 degrees. If this is 10 degrees, the side facing the smallest angle has to be the smallest side. So it turns out that the real ratio of the sides are like this. It's not what the picture shows you. That's all. That's the only concept that people have trouble with. They don't seem to understand that you can't just go by looking at the picture and say, well, they both look like 90 degrees, therefore the answer is C. Which is why they're getting it wrong, because they look at this thing and they look at this thing and they say, well, this looks like 90 degrees and therefore this looks like 90 degrees and they're equal. No. They're not. I can't really say. For all I know, x might be 90, in which case this will also be 90. Or for all I know, this x might be 110, in which case this is going to be 70. For all I know, x might be only 10 degrees, in which case this will be 170 degrees. It could be anything. The picture is given to us like this, but in reality, it could be like this, or it could be like this. This might be only 10 degrees, this might be 170 degrees, this might be 10 degrees and this might be 170 degrees, this might be 90 and this might be 90. We really can't tell anything about the two angles based on the picture that is given to us, and therefore the answer is D. The answer is D, because they want you to compare x versus 180 minus x. As I told you, as I showed you here, if x is 90, we do not know that. If x is 90, then this will be 90 as well. The answer will be C. If x is 10, then this will be 170. If this x is 170, then this will be 10. Here the answer is B, here the answer is A. We do not know. We do not know anything about this x, how this line is sitting on it. Reason I do not know is because even though they show me as a straight line, I do not know the reality. It could be tilted to the left, it could be tilted to the right. I don't know it. The answer is D. I hope you found this helpful. If you wish to get hold of me for personal private tutoring, face-to-face tutoring, or through the internet or over the phone, go to my website at www.prep4gre.com and send me an email, okay? Or you can reach me at KeshwaniPrep.com as well. Again, remember, in the GRE, the pictures, what you see is not necessarily what you're getting. You have to read the problem and see what the problem actually says about the picture. All right? Thanks. I just realized that we are only 7 minutes into it, so I'm just going to take a couple of more minutes to maybe bring this thing home a little bit more. So one more time, I'm just going to see what the part that here's the part I want you to understand. The part that they're telling me, let's forget about this part here. Since I have a couple of minutes, let's make a use of it. The part that they're giving me is this part right here. They're telling me that this is x degrees and the remainder part is 180 minus x degrees. To which I would say, well, big, I don't know if I'm allowed to say big freaking deal or not, so I'm not going to say it. Scratch that part. What they're telling you is axiomatic. Let's see if you understand the word. Do you know what an axiom means? An axiom is something that is true by definition. That is how we define. We define straight line to be 180. This is 180. This straight line is 180 degrees, and therefore, if this is x, this would have to be 180 minus x. You haven't told me anything. What you told me is axiomatic. Axiom means something that is true by definition. What you have told me something is axiomatic. What you have told me so far, based on what you've told me here, what you're telling me is that I have a straight line which is 180 degrees, I know, and you're telling me that this is x. But if this is x, then this has to be 180 minus x. It is simply a tautology. Look it up and learn it. Tautology. Giving somebody a tautology, a statement which is axiomatic, doesn't really tell you anything. Do you understand? I need more than that. You need to tell me something about x. This is nothing. It's just presenting to somebody a triangle and telling them that sum of these angles in a triangle equals 180. What can you tell me about the three angles? Nothing at all. Nothing at all. All right? Thanks.